Al pastor. Al pastor tacos are a Mexican adaptation of Lebanese shawarma brought by immigrants in the early 1900s. Instead of lamb, Mexican cooks used pork marinated in dried chilies, spices, and pineapple juice, then stacked on a vertical spit called a trompo. The name means shepherd style, referring to the Lebanese shepherds who inspired the cooking method. Pineapple juice or vinegar is often included in the marinade, where bromelain enzymes help tenderize the meat before stacking, while fresh pineapple at the top is sliced off and served on the taco for sweetness and acidity. The meat is shaved off in thin slices as it roasts, creating crispy caramelized edges while staying juicy inside. The evolution from tacos árabes to the modern al pastor style solidified in Mexico City in the 1960s, though Puebla also claims to have pioneered the technique. The red color comes from achiote paste and guajillo chilies, not from the pork itself. Carne asada. Carne asada literally means grilled meat and refers to beef that's been marinated and cooked over an open flame or very high heat. The tradition dates back to the ranching culture of northern Mexico, particularly in states like Sonora and Chihuahua, where cattle ranching has been central to the economy for centuries. The beef, typically flank steak, skirt steak, or arrachera, is marinated in lime juice, garlic, cilantro, and chilies before grilling. What makes carne asada distinct from other grilled beef is the specific cut and the high heat searing over intense mesquite coals, typically cooked to medium or medium well, to retain juiciness while achieving a charred crust. In the northern vaquero culture, carne asada is often served as a full steak called a sabana on a plate before being cut by the diner. In Baja California, carne asada tacos feature the meat sliced against the grain and chopped into small pieces, served with guacamole and grilled green onions. Carne asada became popular in the United States through Tijuana, where it's considered a social event as much as a meal. Fish tacos. Fish tacos originated in Baja California, Mexico, with practices of frying fish dating back to the 1920s and 30s. Though the modern street stall style emerged prominently in coastal towns like Ensenada and San Felipe in the 1950s. The battered and fried style likely evolved from Spanish and Portuguese frying techniques like pescadito frito, with Japanese fishermen who arrived in Baja in the 1930s-50s contributing deep-sea fishing methods that made more fish available. The original street stalls almost exclusively used angel shark or dogfish, as they were cheap and held up well to frying, though modern versions use mild whitefish like mahi-mahi, cod, or halibut. The fish is fried in a light beer batter until golden and crispy, then served on corn tortillas with shredded cabbage, crema, lime, and a white sauce that's typically mayonnaise-based with lime and spices. The cabbage isn't just garnish. It provides a crucial textural contrast to the fried fish and helps cool down any spicy salsa. In the 1980s, Ralph Rubio brought fish tacos to San Diego after a spring break trip to San Felipe, launching them into American mainstream consciousness. The original vendors sold them from street carts near the fish markets, ensuring the fish was caught that same morning. Birria. Birria is a traditional Mexican stew from Jalisco that has transformed into one of the most popular taco styles worldwide. Originally made with goat meat, the dish was created in the 16th century when Spanish colonizers brought goats to Mexico and considered them pests, forcing indigenous people to eat them. Indigenous cooks developed a complex marinade using dried chilies, vinegar, and dozens of spices to mask the strong, gamey flavor of older goats. Then slow-cooked the meat for hours until it fell apart. Traditionally, birria is served as a stew eaten with a spoon, with tortillas on the side for making your own tacos. Modern birria tacos, especially the trendy quesadilla style, typically use beef instead of goat because it's more readily available and less expensive. The now famous style where tacos are dipped in consomme and grilled until crispy originated in Tijuana and began gaining traction in Los Angeles around 2016, exploding into a global phenomenon during 2019 and 2020, particularly during early pandemic lockdowns when it went viral on TikTok. In Jalisco, birria is still primarily made with goat and served at celebrations like weddings and baptisms. The red color comes from a combination of guajillo, ancho, and sometimes chipotle chilies. Carnitas. Carnitas, meaning little meats, is pork that's been braised or simmered in its own fat until tender, then roasted to create crispy edges. The technique originated in Michoacan, Mexico, where it has been prepared the same way for centuries in massive copper pots called cazos. Traditional carnitas use every part of the pig, shoulder, ribs, skin, and even organs, all cooked together. The pork is first simmered low and slow in lard, often with orange peel, cinnamon, and bay leaves, for several hours until the meat is so tender it shreds apart. Then the heat is increased to crisp the outside while keeping the inside moist and succulent. A proper carnitas taco includes both the tender interior meat and the crispy caramelized bits called cueritos. The entire cooking process can take 4 to 6 hours for large batches. In Michoacan, carnitas are so important that entire towns specialize in making them, with families passing down their specific techniques through generations. The key difference between carnitas and other braised pork is the final crisping step that creates textural contrast: taco de canasta. Taco de canasta, or basket tacos, are a Mexico City street food invention designed for workers who needed cheap, portable meals. The name comes from the fact that they're steamed and kept warm in cloth-lined baskets, often transported by bicycle vendors through the streets. These tacos are prepared early in the morning, assembled with fillings like potato with chorizo, refried beans, chicharron, or adobo, then stacked in baskets and wrapped in heavy cloth linings and plastic that trap steam and heat. The steaming process softens the corn tortillas completely and melds all the flavors together, creating a unique texture that's nothing like fresh tacos. They're often enjoyed sudados, sweaty and lukewarm, as they hold residual heat for long periods, and many people prefer them slightly cooled as the flavors set and the tortilla becomes less likely to tear. The tortillas become almost translucent and slightly slippery from the steam and fat. A proper taco de canasta vendor will carry dozens of tacos in their basket, each one costing just a few pesos, making them one of the most affordable street foods in Mexico. The tacos continue to improve in flavor as they sit in the basket, absorbing the steam and juices from neighboring tacos. In Mexico City, canasta taco vendors are recognizable by their bicycles, with large baskets balanced on the front. Nopal. Nopal tacos feature the pads of the prickly pear cactus, a plant native to Mexico that has been eaten for over 10,000 years. The Aztecs called it nopal and considered it both a staple food and medicine. Before cooking, the cactus paddles must have their spines carefully removed. Then they're typically grilled or boiled until tender, with a texture similar to green beans but slightly slippery like okra. The slippery texture comes from mucilage, the same compound that makes okra slimy, though grilling reduces this significantly. Nopal has a slightly tart, vegetal flavor that's often compared to green bell pepper or asparagus. These tacos are popular during Lent when many Mexicans avoid meat, and they're common in health-conscious communities because nopals are extremely nutritious. They're high in fiber, antioxidants, and have been shown to help regulate blood sugar. The Mexican flag features an eagle perched on a nopal cactus, eating a snake, a symbol so important that the cactus has become a national icon. Street vendors typically grill nopals on the same flat tops as meat, creating char marks that add smokiness. Tacos dorados. Tacos dorados, meaning golden tacos, are tightly rolled tacos filled with meat or potato, then fried until crispy and golden brown. They're the authentic Mexican version of what Americans often call taquitos, or rolled tacos, though taquito is used frequently in northern and central Mexico, often referring to any small taco. The tortillas must be filled while still warm and pliable, rolled tightly, then secured with a toothpick before frying in hot oil. Traditional fillings include shredded chicken, beef, or mashed potatoes, all seasoned simply with salt and maybe some onion. Unlike fresh tacos, dorados are meant to be completely crispy throughout, with no soft spots remaining. They're typically served in groups of 3 or 4, topped with shredded lettuce, crema, salsa, and crumbled queso fresco. The frying process seals the tortilla so tightly that the filling stays incredibly hot inside, so biting into one immediately after frying can burn your mouth. In some regions, they're called flautas, when made with extra-long, oval-shaped corn tortillas that resemble a flute, while tacos dorados use standard-sized tortillas. Tacos dorados became popular because they could be prepared in advance and fried to order, making them ideal for street vendors and busy home cooks.